decide you wanted to be a teacher?
Oh, dear God.
Oh.
Holy cow, I don't know.
Should I repeat the question?
You don't have to repeat the question. It's interesting. I would love to say, you know, that I've known ever since I was a little kid, but evidently, according to my mom, when I was a little kid, I always said that I wanted to be a broccoli farmer. So it's not that. Right? It's right? Broccoli farmer.
You know, you gotta have greens. You gotta have those greens.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
And it's not so much that I wanted to be a teacher, but I always had this dream of sitting outside a boys and girls bathroom and having people sign in and out. So that was really my ultimate goal.
So
no, it was. Listen, I would say when I was a young adult, going into college in high school, I initially thought that I wanted to be a music teacher. I really loved music. I had a lot of respect for you know, my instrumental teacher and my vocal teachers in high school, and I liked doing that. So I thought that I would enjoy teaching it. That's what I started out doing. But then, you know, as life takes its twists and turns, and I had an opportunity to, you know, think more on what I would like to do. I still knew that I loved to teach, and I was lucky enough to get to have experience, or to, you know, get experience teaching.
He's a really chill teacher, and he's always, like, you know, has something interesting to teach us that, like, will stay with you through the rest of the year. Like, he teaches us in really interesting ways. And I remember a couple weeks ago, he thought it was a good idea to put his shirt in the microwave to dry it. Didn't really work that well. But, like, he's always up for new things and, like, suggestions and stuff like that, which is really cool to have that open communication with the teacher. Someone who could be on your level.
Why physics? Out of all the subjects in the world, why physics?
Well, because if you're going to teach somebody, you know, that's great if you love to teach, but if you can't be excited about what you teach, you shouldn't do it. So I chose physics because it does excite me. It's, you know, not in a nasty kind of way.
Right.
Just, you know,
Megan Palmer, why do you think Mr. Bennett is interesting?
He always comes up with the best examples. Like, he'll come up with this huge story before, like, he comes up with a problem and it has nothing to do with physics, and then by the time you get to the problem, you don't know what's going on. And he always has the best stories, and it's pretty awesome labs, fire, and he always gets distracted. And he makes farm jokes at me, so interesting enough.
most about college?
Yeah, like, what do you remember?
There are other things that I remember a lot about college, but yes, this I will never forget. And this is a life lesson about interpersonal skills and the correct way to deal with somebody, especially when that somebody might have an unstable personality. So there was this girl in college, freshman year. She had
Was she pretty?
no.
I'll cut that part out.
She had in Ohio. Yeah. She had let's say less than perfect hygiene. Right? Yeah. It was unfortunate. And so some of the girls were talking about this and decided they needed to do something, but none of them were grown up enough to actually address it head on and just talk to this person. And the head of resident life didn't talk to this person. So instead what they did was they got this little mesh bag and they filled it with some really nice products, you know, like
like it's a gift for
yeah, body wash and lotion and shampoo and a loofah. I mean, it was like nice stuff. They left it hanging on her door, and when she came out and saw this, she flipped out, started screaming, ran back into her room, and next thing you know, she is in the hallway with one of the biggest chopping knives you've ever seen, like something out of some twisted version of Psycho.
Where's she at now?
I have no idea. I don't remember her last name. Robin something.
Adam in 10 years?
Not true.
I shower daily. Daily.
I think that.
So how long have you known Mr. Bennett for?
I've known Mr. Bennett for about 3 years.
Through JSA?
Yeah.
What was your most memorable, what's one of your most memorable moments with Mr. Bennett?
Our most memorable moments are probably his raps from all the trips.
And why do you think Mr. Bennett is interesting?
He's a Gemini, and because he's really like chill and funny, and he's like easy to talk to.
When we first met, she did not like me.
What's not to like?
Right? So I saw her, and she was a transfer student like me, but I did not know that. I thought she was a first-time freshman. So here I was. I had 2 years of college under my belt. I had actually noticed her the day before when we were taking our little entrance tests and stuff. So here we were the next day. Everybody's eating lunch up in the Commons during freshman orientation, and I'm sitting at this table, and I turn around and I see this girl sitting all by herself, and I think, so gosh, you leave home, you're not sure of yourself, you don't know other people, it's comfortable, so I think I'm doing a good thing. I go over and I say, hey, would you like to come over and join us for lunch? And she looked up at me with a straight face and said, why? Does it bother you that I'm eating by myself? And I was like, Then she took pity on me and started talking to me, and we started talking. In any case, I slowly convinced her that, she liked me.
So you have 3 kids.
3 kids.
What are their names?
2 5-year-olds. Reggie and Tyre, the 5-year-olds. 1 1-year-old. That's Reed.
Now, tell us about the adoption. How was it? How did you feel about it? Was it?
It's interesting. The adoption itself is really not. It's happy. It's a joyful occasion, a little cathartic, because it really gives a formal close to everything that came before. That's the roller coaster. That's the really interesting time. When you decide to be a foster parent, you always know that the primary goal at first is that the child gets reunified with their birth parents, and so what you're in it for is to give a stable environment while you're working everything else out. But at the same time, how do you not get seriously attached to these babies, right? So the one thing I will tell you about adoption is that my worry at the beginning was that I might not have the same feelings for an adopted child that I would have for a biological child. And can I tell you that, in the first second that baby's in your arms, that there's no question. Yeah, it's so amazing. But
Mr. Bennett's interesting because he teaches physics, and that's kind of a boring subject, but he makes it fun by telling stories. He tells a lot of stories. He also raps and sings opera. So even though it was a boring subject, he made it fun and he made it bearable.
What tree would you be?
oh my gosh, I would be the beech tree.
That's a good choice.
Yeah,
That's a good choice. From Channel 12 News, this is Adam Loving. Thank you.
Signing off.